Ever wonder what actually happens when you send a dispute to a credit bureau? It feels like you're tossing your letter into a black hole sometimes, right? Understanding how credit bureaus process disputes can help you play the game smarter and increase your chances of success. When you send a dispute, whether it's online, by mail, or through a credit monitoring service, it doesn't go straight to some credit expert who meticulously checks every detail. Nope. It first gets logged into their automated system, usually something called eOscar. This system is what the major bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, use to process disputes. eOscar doesn't think critically about your dispute. It's just looking for specific dispute codes. These are preset codes that represent various reasons for disputes, like account not mine, incorrect balance, or fraudulent account. Your carefully worded explanation often gets boiled down to just one of these codes. Then, the bureau sends this coded message to the data furnisher, the creditor or collector, who reported the information in the first place. If you're lucky, the creditor might actually take a look at the supporting documents you sent. But more often than not, they're just matching the code to the data they already have on file. If it seems to line up, they'll send back a response saying the information is accurate, and the bureau marks your dispute as verified. This is why so many disputes get rejected. It's a fast, automated process designed to favor the creditor. So, how do you get around this? First, make your disputes as unique and detailed as possible. Don't just say, "This account isn't mine." Instead, point out specific errors like the date opened, the balance, or the status. The more precise you are, the harder it is for the system to just slap a generic code on your dispute. Another tactic is to dispute the same item using different reasons each time. If you initially disputed a charge-off because the balance was wrong, next time, dispute it because the date of last activity is inconsistent. Each dispute reason gets coded differently, and sometimes it takes a few tries before you hit the right angle. Adding evidence is crucial. Even if it feels like they're not reading your documents, include them anyway. Highlight the errors directly on your credit reports, circle the dates, and make it painfully obvious where they got it wrong. If you just send a letter without proof, it's easier for the bureau to dismiss your claim as unsubstantiated. You can also bypass eOscar by disputing directly with the creditor. Sometimes going straight to the source can work in your favor, especially if you can provide them with evidence they didn't have before. Creditors are obligated under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, FCRA, to investigate disputes, and they have to inform the bureaus if they find any inaccuracies. If you're dealing with something really sticky, like a debt that's been sold to a collection agency, you might want to follow up your dispute with a debt validation letter directly to the collector. If they can't validate the debt properly, you can use that lack of validation as leverage in your dispute with the credit bureaus. Persistence is key here. Just because your dispute comes back as verified doesn't mean it's over. It just means the automated process didn't work in your favor that time. Change up your approach, add more evidence, and resubmit. The bureaus count on people giving up after the first or second try. Don't make it easy for them. If you really hit a wall, escalate by filing a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, CFPB. The CFPB takes complaints about credit reporting seriously, and getting them involved can sometimes push the bureaus to take a second look. Make sure to include every piece of correspondence you've sent and received so far to build your case. At the end of the day, it's about being smarter than the system. Knowing how credit bureaus actually process disputes gives you an edge because you can craft your approach to avoid the usual pitfalls. It's frustrating when your dispute gets dismissed, but remember, persistence pays off. Keep trying different angles, back up your claims with solid evidence, and don't settle for a generic verified.